Shalom, and welcome to a message for the Parsha for Parshat Pikudei. Parshat Pikudei is the final Parsha in the second book of the Torah, that is the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus. Thus, this Shabbat is Shabbat Chazak. Chazak means strong, as when we finish the reading of the final Parsha of any given book of the Torah, before the one who went up to the Torah recites the blessing, in other words, to fully complete the actual reading, we pronounce together, everybody announces, calls out together, three words which are not written in the Torah, which interestingly, typically we're not allowed to do that. In fact, the custom is that, for example, when the person getting the Aliyah gets called up to the Torah, what does the person do? Either closes the Torah or turns their head away, not to give off any impression as if what they're saying, they're reciting, that is the blessing, as holy as it may be, as if it's written in the Torah, because that's implying a non-truth. That's not true. It's not written in the Torah. Correct? The Torah is very exact. The Torah is precise, exactly the words that Hashem dictated to Moshe to write into the Torah. So you cannot give off any impression that there's anything else more than that or other than that. However, these three words, chazak, chazak, venit chazek, which means strong, strong, and we will be strengthened, these three words, we all together as a community scream out loud, and then later the cantor, the one reading the Torah, repeats it, and only after that does the one who got the Aliyah make the final blessing, so to speak, complete the reading of the Torah. So this tells us that although it's not physically written in the Torah, you cannot see the letters in the Torah, but it's as well as it's there. And that's why you can chant it out loud with an open Torah in front of you, even, so to speak, giving off the impression as if it's written there. So this is just a very powerful Shabbat. And in fact, many refer to it as Shabbat Chazak, because this whole Shabbat gives us a lot of strength. Now, when would we ever need it more than we need it now? So much is happening in the world. So many terrible things. Things that are just mind-boggling and so difficult to accept. So many human beings, and especially Jews, which are obviously more closer to our heart, are in grave danger. Even, and hopefully this will be the case, that their lives are spared and they will be well. But imagine all the loss of all the properties, all the life, everything that they know of. So many rabbis, colleagues of mine, friends that I know, either personally or I know them as acquaintances, or they're just in the Chabad community, that build communities 20, 30 years, had to just suddenly pick up and leave everything behind, not knowing if they'll ever come back, not knowing if they do ever come back, if anything will be left of their homes, of their synagogues, of the schools, of the institutions that they built. This is a very, very difficult, crazy time. In addition, today, as I record this, is Rosh Chodesh Adar, is the first day of Adar. Adar, the sages tell us, Mishenichnas Adar marbim b'simcha. For when Adar comes in, we increase in joy. Meaning this is a time of joy. What is the inherent quality, the inherent characteristic of joy? Well, we know from the sages, and Kabbalistically it's explained in depth, that simcha, joy, has a special power that simcha poretz geder. Simcha, literally translated, bursts through, breaks through all boundaries, all restrictions. I mean, we always see it in typical life. Think about it. When a person is joyous, they tend to scream out. They tend to be more jumpy. They tend to do things that under normal circumstances they couldn't get themselves to do it, either out of embarrassment or just it's just not appropriate. But when somebody gets excited, imagine you find out you won the lottery, you just start screaming. You don't care where you are. It's not a matter of caring. You're just beyond that. It breaks through all protocol, all boundary. Likewise, being joyous has a special quality of bringing Hashem's blessings and breaking through all the obstacles, all the boundaries, all the difficulties, all the challenges, all the calamities that are, by definition, severe boundaries on our happiness and our life, and burst through them and hopefully God willing, break him forever. So I encourage you, as hard as it is, I mean, the heart wants to be just morbid and depressed now. Just hearing that's what's going on. You almost feel like instinctively, like we just want to feel down. But on this Shabbos especially, the first Shabbat in the second Adar, we need to try to do everything possible to increase in joy, to do whatever it is to bring joy. Force ourselves to be joyous. But that will, together with the fact that it's Shabbat Chazak, remember, it's as if the Torah itself tells us that it's giving us strength. That, together with that, God willing, will serve as a very, very, very good omen for those who need it the most. Our brethren, our sisters and brothers spread out throughout the entire Ukraine, and all of humanity that are there. In a sense, by extension, we're all sisters and brothers. We're all one people. We're all the human race. That God should spare all one's lives, and God should make this craziness stop immediately, and we should know of only peace and success and blessings in our lives, personally in our lives, and collectively in the lives of the entire universe. Shabbat Shalom, and much simcha for you.